You know how that's just how smooth I am.
I didn't even see it coming, huh? I didn't even
There
see
you
it
go.
coming.
Go
But
ahead.
you know what
Go
I
ahead.
did see coming was a little poopy de song. It was only appropriate this week. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all don't remember when we played it over the summer because it was way too apt, way too appropriate for today. But before we get into that in every single way, Nude, my partner from across the Skype universe, back in the studio. We promise you all next week. Michael, the Pharaoh Shanuti, and of course, I am Little Joe Ooh, or as my professionals know me, Joe Duran, and we are Face of the Franchise, back once again, Week 15. How you doing? How you feeling? Nude. Have we made the T-shirt yet?
First of all, I'm feeling great. Just doing what I need to do, grinding. You know what it means. No days off for me. Unlike you with snow days in
Hey,
Virginia. So
back to Loudoun County, man. I like
some
online. We
so
are online. Okay, you know what? I don't think anyone from Loudoun County listens to this show. Whatever. I'll put myself at risk for a moment. We are online. We could have gone online. I will say there were some kids that have to go to certain places to get internet, so I do understand that aspect. So that is okay. But at the same time, I still think we could have had a little bit of distance
we
learning.
didn't need to see Little Joe Ooh's OnlyFans on those computers. So
Hey, listen, that those officially have been closed and retired, Loudoun County, except for my super secret OnlyFans that you
yikes.
absolutely pay for if you are a coworker as well.
Feet only for sure.
feet and earlobes only. It's a weird market. Promise you, it's a strange market.
No, dude. I mean, like with the snow and everything, we had to do a another Skype episode now. So once we get back into the studio, it'll be business as usual. We just needed to get our schedules going. Everybody knows we're just doing this for fun, and we're not trying to get up to a level where we think we should be by the time that we should do it. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, we're
that's all
not
I'm
we're not
saying.
trying to be pardon my take by any means. We're not trying to profit $10 million
One
billion
day,
dollars off this
but
podcast.
even then, it takes about like what is it, 10 years to be an overnight success. So I think we're in year like 2, so we're not even there yet. So
Keep grinding away patiently, slowly but surely, and just I need you to stop lying to me about the numbers, and that's all.
all I'm saying is one thing and one thing only. If you don't listen to this podcast, you're a bum. So I mean, at the end of the day, we're here to do one thing and one thing only: win you money, win you fantasy leagues. You get banter. You get Joey talking about Lamar Jackson looking like a great quarterback. Now he's on my side. So I mean, all this stuff
PSA
is
has
there.
since retired that.
I'm
Week
just saying
eight
one thing.
PSA.
That's just the kid and caboodle. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's the icing on the cake.
Beautifully said, baby. Absolutely, tootly. And if you do listen to the show, which you absolutely should, you already know you're still in the playoffs. You already know you're here for a championship run. And if you're a first-time listener, I'm sorry you're out of the playoffs. But hey, Gambling Corner might bless you up a little bit, get you that first mortgage. But let's get right to it, dude. I love the start of the show today, and I love it so much that I'm curling a little bit, I'm crowning a little bit, I'm clenching as tight as I can to hold in that excitement, dude. Because I have a theory with this. I think everybody already knows where we're at, and I just want to say it's a little bit stolen from Big Mouth. Season 4 just released on Netflix. You know, I'm a big animated guy, and it reminded me of a situation that happened with Lamar. Is one of the characters essentially hasn't pooped in about 3 weeks. This also happened to me when I was around that same age the kids are on the show, so around 12, 13, where I don't know, I was just eating incorrectly. You remember I was a chunky boy baby. I didn't poop for about 3 weeks, and it coiled and it curdled. And it legitimately, nude, I promise you it was about 10 days. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it was about 10 days. It was the strangest 10 days of my life. And on that 10th day, I did receive laxatives, and boy, howdy, was that a long, long day. But so for reserving that story, I don't want to give too much details in case our first time listeners
Jesus
are here. I
Christ.
want you to keep listening. But I think, and that's also what happened to the character in Big Mouth, and that's also what happened to Lamar Jackson. My theory is strong. It is rampant. He was too defensive in the press conference saying he didn't pull no Paul Pierce. I think he pulled a Paul Pierce and more. This was a poop he was holding in 10 days plus. It was getting illuminating. It was so much that he was getting shit for brains, as they say in Big Mouth. I don't want to take their bit by any means. And he was getting shit sanity. He was starting to lose his mind. That's why he was playing like he has been the last couple of weeks. It all makes sense now. Now he got out the shit and he started to shit right back on the Browns. Everything was back in place as it belongs. You know what? I just didn't realize I was going to say this, nude, But I think now that he has taken his poop that he has been holding in for weeks, congratulations, Lamar. You may, I won't get ahead of myself this time. You may be back.
So
The
I'm
poop
gonna tell you
commentation might have been too much.
There's a couple things that's wrong with this entire whole scenario. You can lie to us and say you didn't poop. You can even go out there and say, oh, it was cramps, it was doing this, it was doing that. You can have all your teammates back you up. There's one problem with his entire story, and it was the video evidence of him running to the bathroom. And it was running. That run I have done a million times after Wing Factory. Shout out Buffalo Wing Factory in Ashburn, Ruston, Sterling, and Fairfax. This man you can't tell somebody who shits 10 times a day that wasn't a poop run. Because I know for a fact that was a poop run, and that was my hand. So Trace McSorley comes out and says,
shit 10 times a day, I cannot tell.
Oh, dude, all the time. Dude, it's like water at this point. So it's like his hand, he said, Trace McSorley was like, his hand was cramping up, so he was just trying to loosen it. I was like, when my hand cramps up or I have carpal tunnel or anything, I do this. I don't go like this. Like, I'm not walking like this. Like, that doesn't make sense. You move that hand. Second, out of all the things you did, you waited until it was a game-winning drive, quote unquote, to come out of the locker room, pretending like nothing happened. And then the key point in all this, before he threw that ball, you know what he was doing? He never does this. And I've watched Lamar play multiple times because of our conversations, Steelers fans, whatever.
Yeah.
He takes his hands, both hands, not his throwing hand, both hands, wipes the towel just in case there was any other shit on his hands, any water from washing his hands. He threw a good pass.
Excellent summation, my good friend. Excellent summation there. I think that only proves the point. And just to topple on this a little bit more, and this is, by the way, obviously, I think we're at this point. This is my game that caught my eye this week. Absolutely, poopgate, and probably the best football game I would say so far of all season. But before we get into the actual game, one more point to this. Like Newt said, and I want to double down on this. Like Newt said, we've all experienced that, oh shit, I'm about to shit my pants run. We see the eyes widen a little bit. We see the worry go through the soul, slowly but surely. Yep, there. One more time for the YouTube viewer. Just like that. Clinch the butt cheek, head up high for all my Spotify, Apple Music, listeners. But with that being said, it looked like, to support my theory as well, he had just taken those same laxatives that I took those fateful days 15 years ago, back in about 2007. Well, so 13 years ago, back in 2007, and I will tell you what, I darted and was not out for around the same amount of time out of that bathroom. I'm telling you right now, it is apparent. It was literally poo-pooed all over you, my good friend, Lamar Jackson. However, to the actual game, once he did take that poop, he got the stress out. I didn't see too much PTSD, which is poop post-traumatic stress disorder. Sorry for anyone that's offended by that. Sorry for anyone that does have PTSD. Do get help if you actually do need help. But with that being said,
public service announcement
is that this game was absolutely explosive. It was the best that we've seen from what we did see in Lamar, and the best that we've seen out of Baker, second week in a row, by the way, Mr. Baker, where they both look like we expect them to be, or at least at a certain point, what we expected them to be. Baker's finally got this team under control. You got to give hats off to where hats due to them in this game. It was absolutely thrilling from end to end. It was a literal, I'm on the edge of my seat game. And not only that, it gave us probably the worst beat in good old gambling history, probably at least in the last decade or so that I can think of a... Here's the situation for all you non-degenerates out there. If you are a degenerate, as you can see, Nude is putting his head down low, shaking his head. He had a couple buddies lose to this. I had a couple buddies lose to this.
It's not that luckily, I'm mad that they lost.
We escaped breathing there. Did not have to suffer from the bad beat. But essentially the situation here was Ravens were -3, meaning Browns are +3. Essentially meaning the Browns just have to lose or not lose by 3 or more or win the game. And, well, they were right up for at least a good old push. You're going to be good to go. No worries whatsoever. And then they do a little backyard football. They take a page out of Rutgers' book from 3 weeks ago. Look it up if you have not. Just simply type in Rutgers lateral play that almost worked. And then, but it got called back. And then this one, it did not work. It showed exactly why this almost never happens anymore. It's very, very rare. And if it does happen, it never works, except for barely that 1 week against Rutgers, but didn't. And I'll tell you right now, dude, it ended, in case you missed it, I don't know if you did, in case you didn't hear, ended in a safety. So meaning that the Ravens went ahead and did cover that -3. Browns fans were absolutely upset. And in my opinion, a lot of people are going to be happy with me here. To finish up my little rant, sportsbooks agreed to pay back for that bad beat. I think that's the first time in history where they're like, we're bad beat here. Mayfield so bad. Here you go. Merry Christmas. I can understand it's a tough year. It's probably the worst year that all of us have ever lived through. I 100% get that. But gambling is gambling, where gambling is gambling, and gambling is gambling. I didn't get my money back for when, Villanova missed a free throw to just cover 8 2 years ago. I didn't miss when I didn't get my money back when Virginia got fucking blown out as a number 1 seed against a 6 seed for the first time in fucking NCAA March Madness history. Did I, dude? I didn't. Oh, it was a bad beat. That hurt me. You know what? Sorry. Suck it up. You're in gambling. You are claimed to be a degenerate. You take it. It is like, sorry, hey, I went ahead and I scratched the lotto machine or the fucking runner guy, and it didn't pop up in all 7s, so I didn't win out. Yeah, you didn't. You don't give back the money, FanDuel. You don't give back the money, DraftKings. Did you see Barstool doing that? Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. Who's the number 1 sports book right now, dude? How much has PIN gone up worth? It's gone up in 3 weeks about $40 in terms of stock. Okay, so right now, these bookies look ridiculous. This is shaming the sanctity of gambling. I'm sorry for everyone that did get their refunds or wants the refunds back and does not agree with what I'm saying right now, but gambling is gambling and gambling is gambling.
Okay, you hit every nail on the head. The biggest thing I really wanted to know is how, and I'm going to say this with all due respect, actually no respect, this is pussified America. I'm sorry. This is top of the iceberg, pussified America. AKA, what I'm saying is, like Joe said, I've been on so many sides of bad beats that I can't have a wonderful Saturday, a wonderful Friday, a wonderful Sunday, a wonderful even Monday night without a bad beat coming. What can I tell you? I had Notre Dame winning money line, and Kentucky almost came back and won. Now, if Kentucky came back in a 24-point lead and beat Notre Dame by 1 point, that's it for me. I had Notre Dame money line. That's what happens. You know what? Guess what happens? Team wants to throw the ball around like a bunch of pansies, and guess what? It became a safety. That's what luck is, folks. Luck goes on both sides. Bad or good, you suck it up. At the end of the day, you don't say, oh, this, and this, because we talked about it, right?
By the way, quick side note, I said lotto machine, I meant slot machine. Anywho, continue.
One of the biggest things also in this, is a team did it, what was it, 2 weeks ago before that? Rutgers did it, and it got called back because of illegal man's downfield. But it would have counted. So wouldn't that be called a bad beat? So listen here, pussified America. You lost your money.
Get him.
Shut the fuck up.
Get him.
Shut the fuck up. Because if I was on the side of the Browns and I lost because of the safety, would I be pissed? Absolutely. Would I expect my money back? No. Of course fucking not. I've lost millions of times on kickers who should have made 20-yard field goals, basketball players who should have made dunks when they didn't, fucking coaches doing stupid shit. I don't know. Like, that was in the category of stupid shit. Welcome to that. Welcome to the world of gambling, assholes. This is it. And for a sportsbook team,
not easy being a degenerate, dude. It's not easy being a degenerate.
If a sportsbook actually did it and actually gave the money back, that sportsbook would not be even in the conversation to get Pharaoh's money ever again. Because even if I was on the Browns and that sportsbook gave me the money back, I would flick them off and say, no, this is your money. I lost. Fuck you. Because I'm a man of integrity. Fuck them.
Beautifully said. I have nothing more to add. Way to wrap up. I think that was a great Nude and Joe double team rant. We double teamed you there, you stupid ass bookies. and pussy-fied America. That's right, we're saying and pussy-fied America.
No, I don't care.
Not everyone deserves a participation trophy.
Come get me, bitch. Yeah.
And the classic cliche reference, right? So boomer of us, or whatever the fuck you want to say.
Yeah,
anyway,
dude.
Moving right the fuck along, because I know you got a game that caught your eye this week as well, Nude, and we'll get right to yours.
Well, they were my disappointment of the week. So this was the game to show everybody in the world that the Pittsburgh Steelers were kind of for real. You go into Buffalo, and Buffalo becoming great. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the defense can bring. Let's see what Ben Roethlisberger can do in the cold weather. He needs to probably go to Kansas City. He probably needs to do a lot of things to win a Super Bowl. But here is the ultimate test. You have a good team. You're going on the road again, and you could beat them. Now, this is also a kind of like who's behind the Chiefs kind of game. Like, is it the Steelers? Is it the Bills? We don't know. Comes out later on that Juju is dancing on the logo, doing all this extra shit, giving them motivation. Josh Allen says, let them do the fucking talking. Let them do this. Let them do that.
Let them do the dancing, and we'll do the work.
I got crucified for saying Juju shouldn't have done that. And people were like, let him have fun. For that? I got crucified, dude. People were talking about, like, oh, you want them to be all serious. You don't want them to do this. You don't want to do that. I said, fuck you. I was like, the point wasn't because he was dancing. The point wasn't because he wasn't dancing. It wasn't because of the dancing. It was what he was doing. He was dancing during warm-ups, 1. 2, dancing on the opponent's logo, who is already a hard opponent. 3, giving them motivations when they don't need any more motivation. You don't need to give them more motivation than what we already have.
Right.
And I told people, I was like, credit to the Bills. The Bills came out and handled their business after being down 7-0, looking like the offense wasn't going to go anywhere, even though the Steelers' offense didn't look great at all at the beginning. But it looked like the Steelers' defense was going to win us another game. But a pick six from Ben turned the tide. Stephon Diggs torched our secondary after two turnovers. Another turnover that should have happened, but they didn't call it. But credit to the Bills. They came out, they stomped the Steelers, showing that they are for real, showing they could be a legitimate threat, which nobody ever argued. But when you lose to the Chiefs, when you got to play the Chiefs and you lost, it just shows a lot of people were off your bandwagon a little bit. You got crushed by the Titans, who the Steelers beat, but you beat the Steelers. So now here's 2 ways to look at it. The Bills now have a chance to become the second seed in the AFC, to become what the Steelers want to be to the Chiefs. Now, for the Steelers, I already made a declaration, Joey. I already made a declaration yesterday. If the Steelers do not beat the Bengals, 27-10 at least, I am canceling the season. I will watch the rest of the games.
You're going up to who owns the Steelers? I'm sorry.
No, Dan Rooney. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be like, listen, I have no expectations other than a first-round exit or a second-round exit to a good team. It depends who we play in the first round. If we play the Browns, the Titans, or the Ravens, we might get bounced. Until I see something, Joseph. I'm saying Joseph now because I'm very pissed.
I see you heating up there. You kind of came in, you tried to calm yourself, and the heat boils rising. It's really rising here. But go ahead, finish your thought, my friend.
You have a get right game, and then you have the Colts and the Browns. If you do not show me something in those 3 games, cancel the season. It's literally cancel the season and have either Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes be the AFC representatives.
Yeah, the Steelers are definitely looking like they're going to show up for a beautiful first half of the season and a wonderful first-round exit at this point. I mean first round. It's not looking too hot in Steelers land. It's looking like the Steelers, and I said this last week, and I'm not telling you anything you don't already know or we haven't already discussed. And when I took that barbed wire 12-inch dildo up your butt last week about the Washington football team name to be determined later date, ending that undefeated streak, I pretty much said this then too. That offense scares the fuck out of me, dude. They look probably almost as unmotivated as the Cowboys or Bengals offense right now. They look lost. I don't know what the OC continues to do, except for continue to disappoint Pittsburgh Steelers fans across the
I hate
nation.
him. I fucking hate him.
We want him done. We want him fired. I cannot agree with
I
you
want
more.
his head on
You have
the
too
stake.
much talent. One, for the run game, in my opinion, to be non-existent. You have way too much talent, even more so at the wide receiver position, for drops to be happening like they are, for players just to be looking lost on routes at certain instances. I mean, you have an experienced quarterback in Big Ben. A little bit has got to fall on him, right? In terms of how you got to motivate the team. You got to be a
It's
leader
the
of this
whole
team.
offense. It's the whole
Exactly.
offense.
And let's face it, it is a Ben on his way out, right? It is a Ben getting close to being on his way out. It is.
You
And
can't. No, I'm not disagreeing. Like it doesn't look like he has the Tom Brady I can play until I'm 40 something years old in him. To be honest. So
well, yeah, he was always too injury prone to have that. He was never the healthiest guy. I'm not going to say anything else about him this week. I'll be perfectly
no,
fine.
dude. Honestly, roast whatever you want on this offense because this offense is shit, and that's why.
I was going to do my usual bit. That's all. I wasn't going to do my usual bit with Ben, but but and then the Bills came to play. The Bills are getting their shit together here the last couple of weeks. Yeah, they had a couple slip-up weeks, but who doesn't in the NFL? And the Bills are coming into the home stretch. What's the most important month to look good before the playoffs, dude? December. Period. December. There's a reason that, the Patriots franchise dominated as long as they did. They were undefeated in December for how long? So
Yeah.
it's concerning when you start to cool off in December. We'll see what happens. But I want to get right to your disappointment and your surprise because it's a double whammy this week for you, Nude. It is the Saints and the Eagles game. Let's get into it. Jalen shocked the world. Taysom kind of fell to reality. What you think? What you feel?
So the reason why I combined this game is because there's two things to this. It goes back to all the people who believed in Nick Foles, who said, keep the guy who won you the Super Bowl, not the guy who got injured, might not be the same. Now he has to go to the stadium and see a statue of another quarterback winning his Super Bowl. And it's just mentally draining, as well as a guy who's behind them, who's a two-time national champion, who went to Oklahoma, did great, and was drafted in the second round. Now, credit to Carson Wentz. Doesn't say anything about it, doesn't do anything about it. He takes it on the chin. Credit to you. But the reason why it's a surprise is because why, as an Eagles organization, you didn't turn to the young gun quick enough? You knew Wentz didn't look good. You knew this offense needed some juice.
You mean looked off?
What did I say?
You said, Wentz looked good.
Didn't look good. I said didn't. I thought I said didn't.
Well, we'll survive and thrive. Did not look good.
Oh, my God. Anyways, point is, he did not look good.
I'm a stickler for details.
I know. He had all his weapons back, so there was no excuse. Jalen Hurts had the same weapons as he did a week ago, and look what he did. They beat the Saints in Philly. Yes, it's in Philly, blah, blah, blah. Saints might have overlooked him, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck what that says. It just shows, again, that you should have made the change earlier, see what he would have brought. If you're not going to use Carson Wentz ever again, and you paid him this huge contract, now you look like dummies. Now you have Jalen Hurts in the backfield. Who knows what he's going to do against Arizona? But I'm very surprised, and I'm very happy with what I saw with Jalen Hurts because I am a big Jalen Hurts believer. I'm a Jalen Hurts guy. I thought he went to the wrong organization, in my opinion, because of the Carson Wentz thing. But now that Carson Wentz looks like the shithead that I knew he was, I'm very happy with Jalen Hurts. I'm very happy with what he did. And on the other side, I'm just very disappointed.
Other shit sanity theme this week. He was getting a little shit sanity for sure.
He was. And I'm disappointed in the Saints. And as an organization where you pride yourself on we should have done certain things. You should have beat the Eagles then. You should have beat the Eagles because you're in a race with the Green Bay Packers for first place. You want to have Drew Brees back. You want to have that bye so Drew Brees can look good because Taysom, credit to him, he's done fine.
Yeah, I think he's done better than fine. I think he's done better than people expected him to do. 2-1 in that stand.
Yeah, I blame the defense for this loss. The defense really let the offense down. You should have made you should have known that they were going to run the ball. First of all, you let running back and
Miles had a day.
100-something yards.
One of his best days of the season.
Jalen Hurts had 100-something yards. Like you should have stopped the run at least. You should have made that kid pass. And yeah, okay, yeah, oh well, the RPO, da 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 da. But if he tries to flame you with his arm,
160.
that's a different story. That's a different story. That is a different story. That is a different story. You are a predicated good defense. Now you look pretty average. Now who knows when Drew Brees is coming back? You play the Chiefs next week. Green Bay looks like a lock for the number 1 seed. Now you have to probably go play a game that you shouldn't have because what? Because of what? You overlooked a rookie quarterback. You're so dumb. Like you're so dumb, Sean Payton. You're so dumb, Saints. You shouldn't do shit. Fuck you. I still hate you for talking all that shit about the pass interference.
Yeah, come on.
The 2 Minnesota Miracles. Go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You should beat the teams you should beat. So go fuck yourself. Get right, like the Steelers. Get right with this game with the Chiefs coming to New Orleans.
Yeah, no, I think you hit everything pretty well to give you the compliment you gave me earlier, everybody. Hit the nail pretty well on the head for the most part. I mean, it was a glaringly obvious overlooked game, right? It was something where Jalen pretty much, I mean, for a first-time starting quarterback, did decent, 17 for 13 or 17 for 30, not overly, amazing, but also again, first game starting in the NFL. Tag on to that 106 rushing yards. He had a day. Also, with that being said, then you let Miles come off, who's been hurt, who's had all kind of trouble this season. Finally did what he was looking like at the end of the season last year. That just seems to do what he does in December. And that falls heavily on this Saints defense that I even said looked like they're starting to pick up a little bit here, dude. And they made me eat my own fucking words once again with the Saints. So I had to do a couple times with those bad times in history that you mentioned. Saints have been a damaged team. Saints have been a team that has been on that side of unluck, but they are also the team that prides themselves in consistency, prides themselves in playing every game like they do, like prides themselves in playing every game the same, hard, works their ass off, grit and grind, all that, right? But you didn't see it here. You saw them just get caught in the classic trap of overlooking game. And also, I mean, I would say too, the offense wasn't overly amazing either. There wasn't something that I was impressed with. Yes, you had Taysom, he did pretty decent, but it wasn't something I thought that this was a Saints defense or Saints offense that could have gotten a lot more out of themselves.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like, yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's all on the defense. The offense should have done a little bit more, but I would say like 65% the defense and then the rest on the offense. So that's my take. But that's not. I mean, that's not just a surprise. That's just who they are and how they always operate. Sean Payton is a jerk. So, anyways, what's your surprise?
He's a jerk face. But it's a get right game. It's a get right game against the Chiefs coming up. But my disappointment of the week, and then I'll get you to my surprise here. I think both are a little bit of surprise picks, but my disappointment is the New York Jets. Yes.
Well, you do tell.
I will tell. I know everyone's like, first of all, what the fuck do you mean, Joe? The Seahawks were favored by 14.5, went up to 16.5 at one point. What the hell are you talking about? Yes, and everyone's going to be like, oh, Joe, you just thought because they got poo-pooed on and poo-poo word of the day for face of the franchise, they got poo-pooed on by the Giants, and that offense looked fucking terrible. That's why you went with the Jets till he's cover and on face of the franchise last week. Yeah. 100%, that's what I did. This offense looked sputtered. They looked confused. And once again, I ate my own words completely. But on the side of the Jets, this was a team that looked like they had some fire, that looked like they had some pep, that looked like they can maybe take advantage and at least keep a game close for 4 quarters against the Seahawks within at least 2 touchdowns, right? This is something that I thought the Jets do not want to go in 16. They looked fiery last week. I think they're going to look scrappy again. Sam Darnold saying, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still maybe something. Maybe, please, potentially love me. And they once again showed who they truly are. That's all I really have to say. Jets, you broke my heart again and again and again and again and again. And I always go back to the Larry David episode or the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode, if I can talk here, where one of Larry David's friends killed himself because he was a Jets fan. They continued to lose. I understand partially on how that feels, dude.
Well, in my personal opinion, I think now it's time for us to just all relax, all pretend like the Jets aren't going to lose all their games. I think they're never going to cover any games at this point.
They are minus 250 to go in 16 now.
Jeez, I mean, give me that bet all day. To be honest, I don't see this turning around. Like, there's no game on their schedule that really is going to be them winning, because I think it's the Browns, the Bills, and the Pats.
Yeah.
So I don't. I mean, listen, there is a situation, because the Pats is their last game, where the Patriots either have a chance to make the playoffs or that they don't. So if they don't, wouldn't it be the most Bill Belichick shit of all time if the Jaguars are one game, like Jets. They have won one game, they let the Jets win.
Oh, sorry, okay, yeah.
And the Jets would hold, like the Jets would lose the tiebreaker to the Jags because they won against a division rival. So they would go up to the second spot, and then Trevor Lawrence would be in the Jacksonville Jaguars camp, and then the Jets would be forced to draft that offensive lineman from Oregon. That would be the most Bill Belichick thing to do. And I would not be surprised if that happens. To be honest, I would not be surprised.
So I'm hearing maybe slide 50 on that plus 250 for them to win a game.
Yeah, no, I would wait and see where the Pats are. That's all I'm going to say. And then let's see what happens in week 17. So.
And my surprise this week was the Washington football team named to be determined at a later date, but probably not. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. We have seemed to do something we have not done in many decades, Nude, and catch December fire. We are now on a 3-game winning streak. We are looking fucking phenomenal at this point. And my surprise, though, specifically, and it's actually a tag of disappointment. It's a side of disappointment in here, Nude, kind of like you did this week as well. And that is the defense cannot be the only side of the ball scoring points. Listen, Chase, I fucking love you. I texted you, Nude, but right when he scored his touchdown, scooped and scored, defensive player of the year, not defensive rookie, defensive player of the year. Defensive player. I don't fucking care what the rules stipulate, what it is.
No. It's not that he can't. It's not like he cannot. Like, it's possible, but there's 3 other guys that are doing a lot what Chase is doing. So
not as well.
This is the Homer shit. This is like the Gibson thing we talked about. This is the Homer shit. You have to, you got to know the place of how these awards go.
I think Chase has a better shot at defensive player of the year than Gibson does at offensive rookie of the year.
That's wrong. I will say that's wrong. I actually do not. Wait, you're saying defensive player of the year, like the entire league?
Yes.
No, because I think Gibson.
Who do you have above him right now?
Aaron Donald, TJ Watt, and
in terms of performance overall, in terms of most values to their team
look
right
it
now?
Up. I mean, look it up, dude. Like, okay, first of all, TJ Watt. If TJ Watt is off that Steelers defense, we are crap. Don't get me started. My point is, it's going to be tough for a rookie to win an overall award unless they really did something crazy. And it's Chase Young, credit to him. And somebody made the comparison, and I enjoyed it. It's what we thought Clowney was going to be, and Chase is actually what Clowney's potential is. Like, you know what I'm talking about? It's like Chase is that guy who makes game-changing plays all the fucking time,
right,
and not just like twice a year. So
right, and actually will work his ass off, unlike the other name that you mentioned. But yeah,
let's not talk about him.
No, he got way too much airtime on this podcast over the summer.
Yeah,
way too much airtime. But so yeah, I mean, first, this defense is impressing the hell out of me. I think the Washington football team named to be determined at a later date, but probably not, did face a very difficult 49ers defense, and that is top notch. Even though, yes, I get it, they do have some players that are still hurt, but a couple guys were back, a couple guys were all over us. Yes, we got blessed at the end there, I think, with Warner. I don't think we win that game if Fred Warner's not out. I don't think we win that game. Period.
Sorry, no, I'm with you on that one.
I don't think we win that game. So that's also tying into my surprise / disappointment. But yeah, dude. So we're on a hot streak. I'm gonna ride it out. I'm gonna feel good about it. And I'm going to get everybody, and you are as well, to their fantasy championship run. Wait, actually, before we do that, let's talk about fucking Hitler again.
Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. If you did not think this
catchphrase of 2020,
because dude, like, this man cannot get it out of his own way. Like literally, he needs to sit down with Adam Silver, take notes, and listen to what Adam Silver does with his players. You're gonna tell me
Yeah.
that you do not want. Okay, it's one thing to say you're not gonna have a league-wide bubble. Like obviously that's tough. Whatever. I am done
It's
with
hard
that.
to sustain with as many players that are on a football team.
But you're gonna tell organizations they can't do their own bubble, aka stay in a hotel for whatever many weeks while they're just there. You're a bum. You are a bum. You want this playoffs to look like what we've seen in the regular season. You want to see quote unquote adversity. You want to see blah blah blah. No, I want to see a real champion. If we play a team like if the Steelers play the Chiefs without Patrick Mahomes and we go to the Super Bowl somehow and we win the Super Bowl, I'm going to tell everybody, yeah, that's nice that we won that Super Bowl. And I'll be excited. I'll be very, very happy. But there's going to be a part of me that will tweet out, and I will tweet out, I'm realistic, and says, I don't want a Super Bowl unless we beat that fucker. That's it. That's it. No, because you have to beat the best of the best. You have to beat the best of the best. That's it.
Yeah, I will go in and I'll just ignore your little fantasy about the Steelers Super Bowl, but
no, I'm just gonna say that was okay. Here's a better. If what's his name? If Drew Brees comes back from the ribs, got COVID, and then who else? The Rams go into New Orleans and they beat them, and they're like, oh, they're gonna be an excuse if Drew Brees not playing. Better? That's better.
Yes, much better. they both work. And I get what you're getting, right? And that is, again, like, first of all, this person who I will only refer to from now on as Hitler the Grandma Killer, Hitler 2.0 the Grandma Killer. And he essentially, he's gotten way too much airtime on the podcast, like the other person we just previously mentioned, and I will not mention that person's name again either. But this is just disgusting at this point. It's disgusting. It really is. I mean, it's apparent and it's obvious that is what kept the NBA running so smoothly. They had, I think, maybe one COVID scare. How many have the NFL had at this point? How many remote games have we had at this point?
Dude, it really is. It's insane. Like how many we've had.
And it continues to be ignored. Life's continuing to get put at risk. And at this point, I mean, I don't have anything more to say except for you're fucking disgusting. I hope you burn in a fiery, slow death and then burn in hell for eternity as the Bible says you will if you believe in that whole thing. But this is just a fucking terrible person. And it's just disgusting. I mean, the fact that he feels that he can have the right to do that is just, I mean, it goes beyond football at this point. That's all I really have to say on it.
Dude, I don't know. I hate that this is the situation. I hate I have to watch the playoffs, probably without some of the biggest stars, probably. But hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully we'll see what happens. But Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ.
Yep, for our serious take of the week, moving right along to getting you to your championship run. Let's get on a happier note. Let's get some money in those pockets of yours, guys, based on franchise listeners. As week 15 waiver wire pickups, dude. I'm going to go ahead and start this week. I know you normally run the gamut, but I'll go ahead and start with Baker Mayfield. We talked about it already. He's been on a hot run. He has.
I'm 29 because it's true, yeah.
Yeah, 34. I think I was 29 points last week, 28 points the week before. He's 29.3% owned in leagues. If you are a little bit worried of, hey, you kind of decided to run with Taysom, you got a Matt Ryan situation. I think Baker Mayfield is a much better situation coming up this week. Get him.
So my start of the week is Jared Goff. Why did I pick Jared Goff after a 1 touchdown, 1 interception performance? Well, we talked about
someone I've been saying for 2 weeks now.
See, you can't. He did bad last week, so you can't.
He did. I can't take ownership of that. He did.
So yeah.
So the week before that was correct.
We'll take ownership of this one. He's playing the New York Jets. Obviously, we talked about the New York Jets possibly doing all that stupid shit. So might as well try to.
Not possibly. I mean, they pretty much are. I think part of them wants to win, but they're waiting to see if Jags get another one first. I think.
Exactly. Let's go, Jared Goff.
Let's go, Goffy Goffs. And then, Nude, let's go ahead and move right along to running back. Who you got this week?
So I got the guy who's if he's out, if Gaskin is out, let's do DeAndre Washington. What?
Keep going.
People could see you. DeAndre Washington.
Yeah, for 3 YouTube viewers.
DeAndre Washington is the guy to pick up if Gaskin is out, if Breida is out. But get up Washington. If not, then you should try and pick up. I'm gonna say it. I know I didn't write it. It's gonna hurt me to say this. But you should pick up Benny. You got to pick up Benny Snell. If Benny Snell somehow takes over for Connor, you got to do it. You got to do it. I think the running game comes back. I don't think James Conner is gonna play a full whole game. So get Benny Snell.
I love myself a little Jeff Wilson Jr. I told you to pick him up in week 3. He hit. When Raheem Mostert was out, he got about 24 points for you. They are giving him touches. They are a guy that Shanahan clearly likes in the red zone. It's a guy that is a pass option as well. A little bit touchdown dependent, but if you're in deeper leagues and really looking for, that RB2, because it is very thin this year at running backs, then go ahead and get yourself a little Jeff Wilson Jr. I think there's worse risks out there.
Exactly. And at wide receiver, kind of forgot who I had. Shit. I thought I had it in my head.
You got old KJ.
Oh, I do? Well,
yep.
That's probably perfect. So KJ, he's coming off a 2-touchdown performance. The guy seems like he has Locke's trust. Big play guy. So it's kind of like what I thought DJ Moore would be this year. So KJ Hamler is somebody who you should try.
True disappointment of the year.
Let's not talk about it. He's actually 5th
we don't have to bring it up right now.
5th in yards. That's all I can put my hat on. 5th in yards. But KJ Hamler, try your best. Get him. Put him on your roster. See what happens.
And if not, then go with the guy that's lining up right on the other side of the field of him. That's going to be Tim fucking goddamn Patrick Jr. Go get him now. I'm tired of saying it. Still only 22.9% owned. I've been saying him for the last 3 weeks. Nude said him a week or two as well. He continues to rack up touchdowns. Last week, a little bit touchdown dependent, but look at it before that. It is a guy that Locke absolutely is starting to depend on in the red zone.
Right. And for tight end, I know he dropped a wide open touchdown in Chicago. He says the sun was in his eye, but I am a guy to get second chances. Jordan Akins.
Your tight end pick. Positive vibes as always on the way.
No, listen. It's not even positive vibes. I just know the guy would have had a better week if he just didn't have the sun in his eyes. So I will give it to him. I'll give him a chance. Jordan Akins. He plays a pretty good defense.
You sound like the guy's agent, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You sound like.
I'm trying to get him a Tobias Harris contract somehow, some way. So get him, and use him.
Reference. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I like Irv Smith Jr. I said him a little bit earlier in the season. It's a Kirky. Listen, Kirky is Kirky, as I like to say, and he loves his tight end, especially in the red zone. Don't forget how him and Jordan Reed did together on those runs when Jordan Reed wasn't made out of glass. Well, he was always kind of made out of glass. He was just so wide open for Kirk Cousins most of the time that he caught those touchdowns. But Kirk Cousins loves his tight ends. Most quarterbacks do, but Kirky even more so in that red zone.
Yep. And then my final pick for defense, I pick up the Buffalo Bills. They are playing the Denver Broncos, who we just talked about. Drew Lock likes to fumble the ball. Drew likes to throw the picks, all that stuff. If they're not available,
I fumble, throw the picks and dicks and tricks, baby.
Basically. 49ers as well. 49ers play the Dallas Cowboys. I know what you're saying. They played pretty good against the Bengals. They did not. Their defense did. Their offense did not. So 49ers, yes. They'll bring the heat. Bring it on. 49ers.
I like a whole lot of Cardinals as they're going up against the I believe, I just want to make sure I'm correct on this, as we all are not perfect and we all have mind blanks. And the Cardinals are facing the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's basically not buying into that QB trap this week. It's not buying into the QB trap of, Jalen Hurts won and beat the Saints, and now he's amazing. Listen, Eagles are still the Eagles. He's going to have to go up against a much better defense than the Cardinals. Buda Baker's going to have a fucking day. Go get Cardinals and have it your way, baby, for my cheesy rhyme of the day. And that will lead us right in to my favorite segment, and as always, Nude, the Gambling Corner. This week, coming live from the Gambling Corner, we will give you a little Thursday night football, baby. And
Disclaimer, this is coming out. We know this is out Friday, so
yes.
Just so you would know who we pick. This is who we're gonna pick. So.
Yes. So, right now you can heat check us. We are currently recording this December 17th, Thursday at 3:06 is the current time. So the game does not start for another 5 hours. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead and we are going to give you our picks for the Los Angeles, and you can judge how correct our picks are as Joe is still working on those stats. I'm about halfway through. We will have it for the end of the year, Nude. That I promise. All our stats added up. If you're keeping track at home, please send that to me as well. If there's any chance you're correct, if there's any chance you're keeping track, send that.
Doubt it, but yeah.
With that being said, the Los Angeles Chargers are going to Las Vegas to face the Raiders at +3.5. The Chargers are over under has dropped 2 points since this morning. Interesting as always.
You want to know why? So
why
this
do you
is
think?
Insider trading. Mike Williams is not playing. Keenan Allen is likely to not play, but if he does play, he's going to have a limited role. And now Austin Eckler is dealing with a quad, but he's expected to play.
That's good to know because I have him starting in a big playoff game, so I might change him out.
And the Raiders are missing 4 defensive starters. So we'll see what really bends and breaks.
So it went from 53.5 to 51.5 after that inside baseball that you just offered us there, dude. I like the under here. I'm just going to go ahead and take it. I was going to take it at 53. I still like it at 51.5. I know both these teams usually score. It's a division rivalry. That's exactly why it's going to be low scoring. That's exactly why the Chargers are also going to cover the +3.5 here.
Right. And you're going to take the Chargers?
I'm going to take the Chargers +3.5 in the under.
I'm going to take the under, but I'm going to take the Raiders. I think
I had a feeling public is heavy on the Raiders. Careful.
No, it's not even the public. I just think they're in win now mode. They have to play for a wild card spot. They'll feature Jacobs and Waller on a defense that is not very good. And the offense on the other side has none of their weapons and a rookie quarterback. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I'll paint it this way. Chargers are middle of the pack. They know they're not getting, a top 5 QB. They believe in their guy in Justin Herbert. They got a lot of people coming back next year. It's a pride. Screw your divisional rival out of the playoff shot. I don't know. I think they come chipping hard. I think they come bucking hard. I think the Chargers are going to shock a lot of people here. And what do? They cover spreads. They've been covering spreads all year. That being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to some Saturday football. It's that sweet, wonderful time of the year where Saturday football happens. Not a fan as he has to watch.
No. I'm cool with it. I'm just wild. That's wild. Like that plus college championships is, oh my God.
It's going to be a hell of a week. I'm just very happy, as I always like to let everybody else know. I don't physically gamble anymore because I would lose a lot of money this weekend, most likely. With that being said, the first Saturday game is going to be a Saturday afternoon game, 4:30. Buffalo Bills going to Mile High, Denver Broncos to see the Denver Broncos. They are favored -6. The Buffalo Bills are over under 49.
So I'm going to take the Bills, and then I will take the over. I think there's going to be a lot of passing, and I don't think the Bills are ready for that. Or the Bills defense is ready for Drew Lock's unlocked lock 1 quarter where he throws 3 touchdowns. So
I'm going to go and pick the Broncos here with also an additional disclaimer saying, not the same as obviously the first disclaimer we gave, but more so saying, take the Broncos if this goes up to 7.5. If it goes up to 7.5, take the Denver Broncos. Here's why. Because people continue to sleep on the Broncos. You saw what happened last week. They went ahead and they covered last week, shocked the world. No one expected them to. Everyone thought, Panthers are going to blow them out, yada, yada. Not so much so. I think the Bills keep it decently close here. So I'm going to go ahead, and because that line is where it is right now, this is my big old Pussified America pick of the week. I'm going to go ahead and go Bills money line, and I'm going to pick the under. Bills money line and the under because I want to make sure I don't take the balls to the nuts this year because I think I'm starting to fall behind. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our next Saturday night game, and that is, speaking of the Carolina Panthers, are going to see the Green Bay Packers where it should be a shellacking. And it is a -8 favored Green Bay Packers over under 51.5. Nude, I'll go ahead and go, and I have a feeling this will be our first on the same page of the day. I am going Green Bay Packers with the points and the over.
Next.
Same person doing the same bit, Joe, on the same page of the day, baby. Gotta love it.
You said
Moving right along. Houston Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts. Colts are obviously favored here, -7.5. Over under 51. High over unders this week so far, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Who you
really,
like?
Really.
Who you got?
You go first.
I realize I haven't said my catchphrase to you yet so far in the gambling corner. I'll go first as you're deciding over there. I'm going to go ahead. You know what? I've been on the wrong side on this show so far this year of fading the Colts, not believing in the Colts. And that's exactly why I'm going to do that again here. As it's got to pay off one time for me. I think. No, I can't do it. I'm taking the Colts -7.5. But if you can, by that point, get it at 7. Even get it at 6.5 if you can, because I hate that 6-7 line, and it's I hate it. But I'll take the 7.5. I'll take the over. I
think we're on the same page. I just didn't know what to do. I'm gonna go with the Colts. T.Y. Hilton cooks this team every time. So if that's the problem, let's do it.
Back-to-back Newton Joes on the same page. Moving right along to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, fresh off a win and a playoff run, are hoping for that playoff run to come against the Atlanta Falcons that are trying to prove we're better than we thought. We promise. Maybe they are. They are dogs here, though. +6. Over under 49.5. Nude. Who you got? Who you like?
Over for sure.
Yep. I'll go ahead and second that. Let's see if we're on the same page here. I think I know where you're going to go.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I just feel if Julio – okay, can I preface this? If Julio plays, they cover. If they don't, then I'm going Buccaneers to win. Deal?
Beautiful for nudes, Pussified America pick of the week. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with just straight up Bucks take the points. And as we said, I'm on the over. Not the over, but the over. I'm going to hover over the over. New England Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. And what's going to be, I think, one of the most underrated games of the week, in my opinion. I think a lot of people are going to sleep on this game. It's going to be a fucking rocker because they always play it close. Doesn't matter how the Pats are doing. Doesn't matter how the Dolphins are doing. This is always a good fucking game. It is always a chess match in the absolute beautiful way football can play out. It is a Shakespearean play. Dolphins are favored here for the first time in a decade and a half against the New England Patriots at -2. Over under 41.5. Dude, who you got? Who you like?
So the over, because I feel like those points are so low, and once Cam gets hot, he's going to get hot on this team. And you know what?
Uh-oh.
And Cam we trust, which I hate to say that, but they don't lose back-to-back somehow. Somehow, some way they won't. And it's in It's in Miami.
It's in Miami.
He loves that South Beach. So give me the Patriots to cover, which is just picking them, in my opinion. But whatever.
Essentially, it's basically a pick 'em.
Yeah,
but
it's basically a pick 'em.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go opposite of nude here, except for on the over. We're both on the over. I'm going to go Miami Dolphins simply due to the fact that I faded them for the first time last week. I've been heavy on them, and I thought the Chiefs could do it. Speaking of a bad beat, that was another bad beat. If you did have the Chiefs -7 and the Dolphins literally went and kicked a pointless field goal with 9 seconds left. But anywho, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the Dolphins, the over here. Moving on to Joe might pull Lamar Jackson and Paul Pierce during this game. I think I absolutely will. It is going to head, and it's going to be the Seattle Seahawks coming to DC to see the Washington football team, named to be determined at a later date, but probably not. Washington football team, named to be determined at a later date, but probably not. Our dogs here at +5. Over under 44.5. Nude, who you got? Who the fuck do you like, bud?
I want you guys to win. I really do. I really want you guys to win the division. I really do. I just don't see Russ losing again, like how he did to the Giants. Your defense is good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to
that offense, that defense, and the Seahawks is not.
That's why I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna say the over, but I'm gonna have to take the Seahawks -5. and a half.
Listen, I have been another preference with our picks here today, and I think this is especially important with me, Nude. I have been. I don't even think it's arguably. I've been clearly fading the Washington football team, especially at the start of the year. The Washington football team needed to be determined later date, but probably not all year. I have continued to sleep. I have continued not to believe until the last couple of weeks, until Thanksgiving. I ate my turkey. I got fat and happy. I got on board. Right.
I've taken them more than you, which is wild.
It's absolutely nuts. It's fucking nuts. Land. It's 2020 cliche all the way. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to write them, and I'm so sorry. I want to say this ahead of time, too. I am so sorry if it is a blowout. I will take all the heat. I will take the blame. I will personally take it on as I lost that game, because every time I do this, it disappoints me. But I don't care. I'm sticking with it. Dog of the week. Washington football team, named to be determined at a later date, but probably not, at plus 195. Give me the over as well at 44.5. I think I just pooped a little. Moving right along. Chicago Bears versus Minnesota Vikings at Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are favored here, -3. Over under 47.5. 47, just 47. Nude, who you like? Who you got? Whew. That was a tough one for me to get through. My anxiety went through the roof on that last game.
Under in this game.
Yeah. I'll go with you on that too. Under as well.
Sheesh.
I think it's easier than you realize.
Is it the Bears? Because I'm thinking the Bears.
And it's money line? Because they're +3.
Yeah, definitely money line.
I'm also definitely going money line. Listen, it's Kirky as I've already said once this show, as Kirky. And one thing he is not is when a game is on the line, he is the exact opposite of what you need to be, which is clutch. And he is not that. He is the exact opposite of that. He can ball out in a game where nobody cares and then absolutely fall flat on his face. That's what he has done time and time again. I found, especially when you're in the gambling corner, history proves to be true, especially when you're a church going. Gotta love it. I will die for COVID. Kirk Cousins. Bears, money line, under. Nude go on the same page. Jacksonville Jaguars are going to Baltimore to see the Dirty Birdies and the Ravens, +12.5. You're shooting this off? Points to the Ravens
over,
and the over. Moving right along. Third, Nude and Joe on the same page.
Jesus Christ.
Or actually, fourth, Nude and Joe on the same page today. Got a couple. And it is going to be that next game, which who gives a shit? And I don't want to steal another show's thing, but who gives a shit game of the week? Dumpster fire game of the week, as I like to say sometimes. I think 49ers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys are dogs at home, +3. I love to see that. Over under 45. Nude, who you got? Who you like?
I like the Niners to cover, and then I will take the under.
Liking the Niners to cover, liking the under. Just to not have our fifth on the same page, I will go Niners and I will go over, even though I fucking hate it. Moving right along to the New York Jets, who are praying, and I'm praying a little bit as well for a win. Probably won't happen this week against the Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles Rams are at home. It is -17.5. Fattest line I've ever seen. Rams are -2,000 money line. That is within the fattest lines I've ever seen. Yeah, that is a PR right there. Personal record. Over under 43.5. Dude, who you got? Who you like?
17.
17.5.
Okay, I'm gonna go over because I think they could get 44 points by themselves. Yeah. Give me the Rams, -17.5. That's a bigger bet than I feel like than the +17.5. You know what I mean?
It's never good when Nude and Joe have 5 on the same pages of the week, but that's where it's going to be.
I'm giving you logic. I'm giving you logic to it. So it's not like I'm just picking because like I don't want you to catch up. I'm just like it doesn't seem smart to me to take +17.5 with who they have over there in fucking New York. So
yeah, it will hurt you in the end. It will let you down in the end.
The sharp money is the Jets.
Jalen Hurts have not let the Eagles down last week, as they are going into the Arizona Cardinals to see if he can go 2-0 as a starter. -6 the Cardinals are. Over under 49.5. Nude, who you got? Who you like?
Are we on the same page on this one? Because I really hope we're not. Because I really want you to take the Cardinals. Because I want to take the Eagles to cover and the over.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. I'll go ahead and I will take. I mean, I was going to take the Cardinals regardless here. I don't have faith in the Eagles. I continue to fade the Eagles, and I'm going to go ahead.
I didn't say they were going to win. I just think they keep it within 6.
And you said over or under for 49.5?
Over.
I'm taking under, so exact opposite. New to Joe on other.
That's the game that's going to determine the week right there. That's the game that's going to determine the week.
Now, the game that everybody is already calling the game of the week, everybody has a big old bonner about Drew Racist Breeze is coming back, and they are going to host the Kansas City Chiefs. +3.
You can't give people the false information if you don't know.
I mean, we'll leave it. We'll brush it under the rug. I won't get into it. I won't get into it. Let's get into this game instead. It's +3. The Saints are dogs at their own house against the Kansas City Chiefs. Over under 51.
Over for sure. Chiefs, because Drew Brees isn't playing.
Isn't he coming back this week?
He was supposed to, but he has a long way to go apparently. So.
All right, Mr. Inside Baseball Nude says he has a long way to go. So then, yeah, Chiefs over next. We're going to go. Is that 6 Nude and Joe on the same page? Did you say over too?
Yeah, I said over.
Okay, stop listening for a second. All right. And hey, Nude.
We're going to definitely be opposites on the next 2. I definitely do. I
do not have line on my stupid ass.
I have it.
Go for that Sunday night game, and I got the Monday night game.
Giants. All right, so the Cleveland and Giants, Browns favored -5 actually, over under 44. Joe, who you like? Who you got?
It's who you like, who you love, but I love it. Great effort, buddy, as always. Thanks, partner. I'm gonna go ahead.
This is your stick.
I'm gonna love the Giants, and I'm gonna love. What was the over under again?
44.
I'm gonna love the Giants. I'm gonna love the over because I do think flip it, reverse
I'm just gonna
it.
let you know. I'm just gonna let you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to pick them, but I am picking the Browns to cover, and I'm gonna pick the over. So if that helps you in any way, there you go.
That made it worse. I don't want to go a 6 Nude and Joe on the same page, but we are because I'm gonna fuck it. I don't care.
The next one you're not gonna pick. You're gonna pick the Steelers to cover.
Well, patience, dear boy. I'm gonna go ahead and you know what? Fuck it. Giants and over.
You can say cover.
I'm saying Giants cover. Yeah, that's what I mean. Giants. I would say Giants money line straight up.
They can lose. Yeah.
Giants cover over. I'm shuddering. Cue the horns.
I can't do it with that. All right. I'm just laughing because Joe's face, dude. Like, it just literally looked like Lamar taking a shit. All right.
Wait, no.
You can't do it when you look like that, dog. You messed it up. All right.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. No, it was good. You know, you recovered there at the end.
That was the best. For circumstances-wise.
We have Nude's beloved, lifelong wifey in the Pittsburgh Steelers as he already mentioned, -13, going to see division rival on fire, Cincinnati Bengals, +13. +13. Over under is 40. 40, good sir. And the lowest line probably in weeks.
Yep.
Nude, who you got? Who you love?
I'd be a fucking liar if I did not take the Steelers at -13 just for a prove me right fucking finally bet. Or prove me wrong in the sense that I took this line because I want myself to lose money because you are a piece of shit organization.
I am bringing undue pain onto myself because of how terrible you are.
And I'm gonna take the over because I think the offense, you need to show something. Even though I said 27-10 at least, which would be the under. but I'm giving you 3 points. So get 3 more points than what I said to prove to me that you're going to go on the right path. Fuck you. Continue. Sorry.
Hoping for that 27-10 score. I don't know why you apologize. No need to apologize, dear boy. I like calling you dear boy, my dear
It's
sweet
like
boy.
yelling at your wife. It's like yelling at your wife. You feel bad by yelling at her, but at the same time, you have to say sorry because you know she's an asshole. You know she's a bitch, but you have to stick with her and all this shit.
But you love that fucking cunt, huh? You definitely love that Steelers cunt. What I love here is the Bengals to cover, and you knew I was going to take it. Huh?
The cunt is not moist. It's not moist anymore. It's dried.
The wells have dried up long ago.
It's dry as a bone. It's as dry as a bone.
Up long ago.
We got to see some foreplay. Going.
I don't think you'll see it this week. I think you barely beat the Cincinnati Bengals in a classic play to your competition game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to take the under here as well. And I think I'll be satisfied with that in the end. Any final tears to cry, Nude, before we let the people go?
You're definitely going to win that bet. We're going to win the division barely by a cunt hair. Probably beat the Browns in week 17. Probably lose to the Colts in week 16. We'll have a first-round exit. And, I mean, at this point, like, what is there to be happy about? What is there to be happy about? What is there to be sad about? This is what I believe in. This is the show. We'd like to thank everybody for coming.
What a somber note to end on.
I guess we got to be cheery. Fuck it. All right. Anyways.
Yeah, there you go. Pep it up now. Sponsor time.
Because I'm doing our sponsor, so I gotta
get you to move on, or we'll be stuck all day, guys.
So Eyesight Eyewear, the mobile eyewear company. Go get your glasses today. They are the only company that will get your ocular needs right at your door. Come to fit for you. I got my prescription sunglasses. Joe got his prescription glasses from them. Please go visit Eyesight on their Instagram, Eyesight with an I, and their website, eyesight.com, as well as Stuck Up Clothing, the finest fashion money can buy.
Beautiful.
There he goes. I told you.
He got it.
They got their new clothing line, new logos, new designs. DM them. Go to their Instagram. Go to their website, stuckupclothing.com.
Wait, don't they have something going on? Don't they have something going on right now?
Hold on. I'm getting there. I'm just telling them they can go and add.
I'm so excited. I'm just so excited about it.
Go to their Instagram right now. Tag 3 people. Do their giveaway. They're giving away merchandise, giving away different prizes. Go up and see Stuck Up now for the giveaway holiday season.
Wait, real quick, way you do this giveaway, really simple, guys. You go to the Stuck Up Instagram page. You follow them. You tag 3 people in that said post where it talks about the giveaway. Then you share the post that talks about the giveaway in your story. Simple as that. Boom.
Simple
then you
money.
get some of the finest fashion money can buy at your door in time for Santa to come. And hey, look better than your friend, look better than your girl, look better than your man, look better than whoever you need to look better than. You understand?
And then last but not least, lashes, Seductious by Jax. Get your lashes.
Oh yes, new sponsor. It's a great one.
Get your lashes done by our girl Jax. She is the best in the business in the DMV area. Go follow her on Seductress by Jax. I will tag it because I think I'm messing it up. Yeah.
Seductress by Jax.
Yeah, go look up her lashes and enjoy. And that is very talented.
I gotta say, lived with her for a while, and she was doing it out of there. She was doing it out of our place, and then raised it up and killed it in across the Nova area. Now has her own place in Tyson's that she's running out of. She does a fantastic job. I recommended a couple friends to her that they've absolutely loved her. So go check her out. She's the most skilled in the area when it comes to your lashes, and she'll give you some fashion tips too. Maybe help you out with your hairstyle if you want. She does it all.
And last but not least, we got to sponsor ourselves. Thank you for Four Corners Radio Studios for hosting us. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those funny.
It is your studio.
Streams.
I hope you fucking host us.
I would hope so. Follow all our podcasts under the umbrella that is Face of Franchise, Free Therapy, Hoopin' and Hollering, Bread and Butter, The Last Nice Guys, Thoughtology, and Degenerates Are Us. Coming soon, something different. We'll see. But the point is, follow us.
He's coming. Just like George R. R. Martin's 6th and 7th books of Game of Thrones, It is coming.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and all streaming service. I am Pharaoh. That is Little Joe. One love. Stay breezy. Stay easy.
Aha!